Hey guys, we are back with another YouTube video, and before I get into BSG this week, year 13, I just want to say thank you for all the attention and love you guys have given to the channel and the video last week. Obviously, we don't need it around here, but we do certainly enjoy and appreciate everything that all you guys have done. Doesn't go unnoticed. But anyways, we're back with another BSG video, and this week we are now in second place. Last week we were in third place behind team A and B. As you can see, team A fell behind a ton this week, not to mention F and C did as well. We were already ahead of them. We had gained 7 from last year, and so did Group D. Actually, they gained 8, but Group E is starting to fall a little bit behind. We're catching up to them. But yeah, this is what the rankings look like. We're catching up about what we expected. If I get into, we'll get in that in a little bit. But essentially, I'll just go through and talk to you guys about what each of these pages have going on with them this year. And yeah, so to start, we have compensation and training. Again, we're emphasizing best practices training. We're going to up this a little bit more. Nothing crazy going on here, though. We have Latin America this time around, so you can see that we're investing over here a little bit. Branded production. This is really heavy emphasis this week was picking a strategy and also taking care of some of our weaknesses, specifically our image rating. If we can look at last week, we kind of got kicked in the butt by Group D and B here, but we didn't really catch that in time. So we got kicked in the butt again, and Group B's even farther ahead. So we got to catch up. And if you guys can see here, we're at 94 projected for next year. So we'll be there. Nothing to worry about there really. But when it comes to brand production, our strategy here was to make a lot of models. And sadly, with our SQ rating down so low from the previous year, which was really what affected our image rating because we didn't emphasize these SQ ratings enough. As a result, we weren't able to sell as much, and we didn't have as much market share. If we can look at, just for an example, North America, you can see we're not differentiated too much from B and D, who we kind of got to worry about. We're kind of with other teams right now, and as a result, our peel is not that differentiated. So we have to take care of this. You can see 500 miles, we're right around 300. We're going to increase to 500, try to get over here. Basically just trying to make our product a little bit different so that we're not fighting for so many the same customers here. You can see Group D, which had a +8 gain last year. Team we got to kind of pay attention to. Their strategy was actually high prices as well as high SQ rating. So you can see why they're so far high on this price and SQ rating axis. They're almost all the way to the top. So they're differentiating themselves through price. And with that high of a price, you think they won't get too many actual orders sold, but they actually were kind of prevalent. Not bad at all. We were able to keep a big portion of the market share, but with this price, it wasn't really, we didn't punish anybody with it. So yeah, I mean, we did well, but we could be doing a lot better. Same for the wholesale segment. See, they have a high price, but we still, our SQ rating is far behind what they have. So as a result, they're kind of close with the amount of market share and the high price. So they're kind of kicking our butt there. Go to brand production. This year we have Latin America, and this is a market that we're not going to use this strategy for. We're actually going to go for low models, high price here, and we're going to kind of try to take away from Group D's strategy, basically copycatting them to a certain extent. If we look at, see, this is our comparison from the previous year in terms of SQ rating weighted average. So we're basically projected to be right around where everybody else is or was last year. Hopefully they don't increase it anymore. But honestly, I don't think we need to increase higher than that to be able to kind of compete. Here we have space available for footwear production, which was created down here through the construction of new and additional space. We took that on the last year and the year before that. And now we have equipment that we kind of have to match that with. And obviously to purchase equipment, we need money. So you have to take into account that we can't spend all our cash here. We might have to do it over the next year or the year after that as well. But we have 1750 as a little bit of a discrepancy here. So to take care of that, we're going to purchase equipment and be efficient as much as possible. Same in Asia and same in Latin America. So yeah, we're purchasing some improvement options here and there that we think will be worth it and pay off after a few years. Nothing crazy though. Distribution. This one doesn't really have anything crazy going on. We'll fix this in a little bit later in the week. But inventory clearance, all we're doing here is taking into account our margin over direct costs. If it's over our direct costs, it's actually worth it. You can see here that I actually opted in regardless, even though the direct costs were negative. And that's because I think the net profit and the ending cash benefits we got out of it were actually worth it. So yeah, that's what's going on here. But really not much of a change, just more pairs being distributed because we're producing more now. Internet marketing, these are our operating profit margins, still looking pretty good. We got to take care of some of these surpluses. You can see here in North America, we're actually doing really well. Europe and Latin America, though, we have to kind of adjust and figure out what we want to do there. But yeah, just some increases. I messed around with this to what our strategy was. You can see our brand reputation, which is derived from our image rating from last year. Says it right here. Is pretty low compared to all the other years, or all the other teams rather. And so we're losing a lot in that category. So heavy emphasis, we're up to a 94 projected for next year. I think we're in a good position. We lost a lot in private label. Private label. So for North America, for example, my strategy, when I saw this, I was surprised that nobody's really paying attention to their SQ rating for their private label. Maybe because they think that nobody's really even going to invest in it, but all the pairs that are being offered right now are actually being sold, except for ours. We offered 72 because we weren't emphasizing this much at all. And for some reason, those didn't get sold. Probably a result of our brand reputation again. But there's still quite a bit of a market share that we can capitalize here if we can just boost our image rating for next year. So if we take that into account, which I think is what's going on there, offering up 500 and 600 here, and heavy emphasis on SQ rating this time around. 7.3 and 6.9 should be ahead of everybody else in this category. So hopefully we can get these pairs sold and take advantage of this. It's not even that we're really looking for a crazy profit from this, but we're trying to take away from the other team's ability to make profit here. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Celebrity endorsements. This year we want to make sure we have some North American and Latin American appeal. You can see it here through the appeal indexes, 85 and 95 respectively. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Not much going on here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you guys think we should go after someone else. Obviously, Kimmy Jimbo has a 100 appeal index in North America, which is crazy, but people are bidding 8,000 for him, and we don't think that opportunity cost is that worth it. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Corporate citizenship. If we look at the previous year real quick, we're actually above average. The average was 2. the year in year 11, we were at 4, so we're double the average again. Our strategies, we want to stay like this. And so I added a few more corporate citizenship aspects in here to improve our image rating. We're right around almost $1. Might mess around with this a little bit more before the week ends, but it's essentially what we have going on here. And this is really the biggest change this year. So if we look at financial statistics, and we go down to the balance sheet data, and we look at, remember last year, we were at around 125,000 total liabilities, and they were at around 300 or 250,000. They've taken on 5 times as much debt as we did last year, which is something to consider. So what we thought about doing here was basically just not exactly cup game and doing it to the same extent, but taking on some debt ourselves so that we're not risking the idea that taking on and leveraging debt might actually be a good idea. We want to make sure that we're kind of in the same market and able to take the same opportunities as they are this year without suffering long-term compared to them. So just something to think about. They purchased even more stock back. We repurchased stock as well, but our first year we issued stock. So we have actually the most stock outstanding right now. So repurchasing stock is actually going to pay off because we're gonna have a lot more to purchase in the future. So we have a lot of room to do it. They are already down to 19,000 almost, which is over 1,000 less than what we have. Now I got a feeling they'll do it again to increase their EPS, because that's just one way you can increase your EPS. We look at, real quick, we look at debt to assets 0.28 last year. They were at 0.48, so they're almost at a 0.5 debt to assets ratio. And if we go to look at what all these loans will end up doing to our debt to assets ratio, we're at around 0.36 currently. So kind of striking the middle here. We don't want to have the crazy debt to assets ratio that they have right now, and probably will have even a crazier amount next year with, but we also want to take advantage of some of this debt leveraging that we can do in these early years. Besides that, we're just repurchasing stock again. Projected cash balance. If our net profit holds up, we should be fine. If we look at our gross profit margins here, we're actually ahead of everybody in each category. Gross profit, we're higher. Operating and net profit, we're also higher, significantly by 1.5% actually on Group B. So this is something to think about. We also have a higher ending equity in Group B, which is also comforting. So yeah, I mean, this is the situation we're in this week. We're making sure that we're taking advantage of some of these strategies that we think are good ideas, and hopefully they actually end up working this year. Some of these measures are bound to change by the end of the week, just based on what I think is the best decision. But for now, this is where we stand at for year 13. Again, I thank you guys for giving the channel and the video last week a lot of attention. Whatever you guys want to do this week is totally fine with me. It doesn't matter, but we do appreciate the amount of love that you guys have been about. And we'll catch you next week. See ya.